So Laura, you were referred to Dr. Chang from a dentist that you were seeing. What was the problem that you were trying to address with the dentist?
Well, at that time, I had developed an open bite. My jaws constantly hurt. And when I went into the dentist, they also noticed that I was experiencing bone loss in my teeth. And so the dentist said, "Are you open to the idea of orthodontics?" And I said, "Sure." And so she gave me the name of Dr. Chang, and I came to Dr. Chang, and he looked at my teeth, he did x-rays, and told me that he could take care of my case even though it was a very complex case. I also went to another orthodontist who advised me not to do it. So it was quite interesting. I had one telling me that it'd be disastrous and another saying, "Oh no, we can take care of this." I did my research and I had confidence in Dr. Chang, and so I went ahead and decided to have my braces put on.
Okay, so I have two follow-ups to that. When your dentist told you that you might need orthodontics work, you had already had orthodontics work as a teenager, right?
Yes.
So was it surprising to have orthodontics suggested?
Yes and no. I mean, I could see that my teeth had been moving. I couldn't bite through lettuce anymore because of the open bite. As a kid, my teeth were very crooked. And I could, especially my top two teeth, and I could see they were starting to flare out again like when I was a kid. And so I wasn't surprised. I was disappointed that my teeth had moved so drastically that I was going to have to go through orthodontics again. But at the same time, I was hopeful because I was like, okay, well, if this can be taken care of, why not have it taken care of? Because it wasn't fun living with the pain and not being able to bite through a sandwich and stuff like that. So it gave me hope. I was excited.
Good.
Yeah.
And then second follow-up, why did the other orthodontist say, you used the word disastrous?
Those were his exact words. And
why?
He said that he thought that I would lose my teeth. That I guess at my age, because at that time I was 55, 56. He was just saying that at that age you're not wanting to move your teeth around that much.
Okay. So then when she came to you, you didn't think anything about this case was disastrous. How did you see it?
Yeah, Laura had an open bite. There was some resorption here and there. The periodontal tissue, there was some periodontal loss, that was for sure. But if you have an open bite and you're biting on the same tooth over and over again, to me that would create way more problem down the road. So that's the reason why I advise her to have a non-surgical orthodontic treatment.
Okay. Now, do all of your patients, if they come into you, do they know what an open bite is? Or is that something, if I'm looking in the mirror and I know something's wrong with my smile, explain to me what an open bite is. Would I know what an open bite is?
Sometimes it's very subtle. In those cases, you wouldn't know. But open bite is when basically your teeth are not touching each other. Okay, you can have anterior open bite where only front teeth are not meeting each other. Or you can have an open bite where you don't have any contacts other than the very last molar. In those cases, your entire jaw kind of goes back and everything is open on the front.
Oh, okay. So if I'm looking in the mirror and if my jaw is closed but my teeth are not touching, that
exactly
is an open bite.
But you can have, if it's very subtle, for example, if you have open bite only on one side and you're pushing the tongue through it, you probably will not notice as much as a patient who has complete open bite and you can put the entire tongue forward and then is having a hard time closing the lips or doing the very basic tasks like drinking water. Okay.
Even drinking water.
Mm.
So your suggestion was non-surgical treatment. Surgery was something that was suggested to you. So when Dr. Chang suggested no surgery, were you relieved, excited?
Oh yes, because one of the doctor who had said surgery, was an option, also said, well, no, it was you that said that surgery on my jaw at my age would be a very long recovery. And it would be very, traumatic to the body. And it wasn't really the best option.
Okay.
And I was all for not having surgery.
Right.
Who wants that?
And if the recovery from surgery was going to be long, how long did your treatment with Dr. Chang end up taking in the end?
It was 2 years.
Okay.
Which you can say, in hindsight, it went by quickly. When you're going through it, not so much, but it was so worth it. And he was great because he coordinated with my dentist. I would go in instead of 2 times a year for a cleaning, I'd go in 3 times a year. And they would coordinate. I'd come here first, they'd take the wires off, and then I'd go to the dentist so they could do a full cleaning. And then I'd come back here, they'd put the wires back on for me. And my dentist was like, not every orthodontist will do that for you. And so I always felt like Dr. Chang was going above and beyond because he wasn't just interested in getting straight teeth, it was keeping my teeth healthy and working as a team with my dentist. And that was hugely important to me.
Great. Something that I've heard Dr. Chang talk about a lot is the aesthetics that orthodontics or orthodontic work provides. Even your chief complaint was pain that you came in with. Did you actually see a difference in your face at all after your orthodontic work?
I did, and a lot of it was because you would take pictures lots of times, right?
Absolutely.
And you could and I'd get a glimpse at it, but even at home, it was like, I didn't really realize that my jaw was off a bit, and that they're like, well, you have a line right here because your jaw is off. And when I would smile, it used to be more of a strain.
Exactly, the neck muscles were very, very tight, very hyperactive.
You could see the strain in her neck muscles.
Yeah, through the photos.
Wow.
It was very noticeable.
And when she first came in, that's something that, even though you said you didn't notice the asymmetry, you probably noticed it right away and
yes,
knew that treatment is going to make.
Because once you have an open bite, you definitely have a jaw relationship that is very off, and that triggers other muscles to compensate and to be more active, trying to camouflage, let's say, trying to work under that circumstance. So it's fairly common to say that people with open bite or other, strong malocclusions or severe malocclusion having a very similar issue.
Okay. What would you suggest then to other patients who are in Laura's situation? Obviously, you want them to come see you, but what's the main concern that people often have, or the hesitation that they have of coming to visit?
The hesitation is why we are one of the few practices that offers non-surgical treatment. Okay, that's one of the biggest hesitation, because most individuals that comes to us already have gone through 3-4 consultation, and all of them said just surgery. And I'm probably the only one saying no surgery, just orthodontics. But if you look at it, the way how we jaw evolves, many of these malocclusion problem is adaptation to the environment dictated by the influence of tongue, the body posture, the things that you do on a daily basis. The fact that you have a smaller teeth or attrition or grinding, whatnot. So in a way, if you change the environment through orthodontic treatment and other therapies or other approaches, including ENT treatment, and you're able to breathe better, and then you're able to move teeth in a certain way, your jaw will come back, very closely to what it should have been from the beginning.
Okay. Speaking of breathing better, did you have any other symptoms maybe that you didn't even notice at first, other than the jaw pain? Any insomnia?
Yes, I was going to say, I could count on 2 fingers the number of times I was able to actually sleep through the night. I would sleep up or wake up half a dozen to a dozen times every night. And oftentimes I could tell I had held my breath. And so, but I didn't know that was all part of what was going on in my mouth. So now I sleep better. It's, you know, I can actually sleep through the night, and I don't have the pain in my, it was a constant pain in my jaw. And I guess I would recommend people to, I had the mindset of, well, this is just how it is. This is the way I'm just gonna live the rest of my life. And it wasn't an, oh, poor me. It was just, that's just how it is, you know. And my dentist and my orthodontist was like, no, you don't have to live that way, you know, so.
Great. So how is your life different now, you know, after 2 years of treatment? What are the daily things that you experience now?
Yeah, I can eat a sandwich with lettuce. I like to smile more. I noticed I wasn't smiling as much. Not because I wasn't happy, but I was very conscientious of the way my teeth looked. I sleep better. It affected my speech as well. I noticed that before I got my braces, I was like, I'm having to work very hard at talking clearly. And I used to not have to do that. And even my sister-in-law said, yeah, I've noticed that. And I'm like, why? And I guess it, you know, my jaw, I guess.
Yeah, the open bite that you had was limiting the ability for you, you know, to produce certain sounds. And now the open bite is closed, you're able to do that without any hesitation.
Yeah. So, life-changing.
Effects that you weren't even expecting because you didn't know that they were even issues.
Right. Or that they were issues related to that.
Right.
You know, so.
Dr. Chang, is there anything else that we need to know about Laura's case?
Yeah, you know, case like Laura, where she had the open bite and also breathing problem, is fairly common these days. We have a teenager having a breathing situation, you know, impairment. Adult patient who, you know, they thought they have a, you know, a breathing issue, but they never treated. They never thought about that. But you know, treatment is there, is available. It's not only orthodontic treatment. What they should have is a combination of several different disciplines that patient needs to go. But when you go through all that, there will be a big change in the quality of life, and especially on the sleep side.
And we all need some good sleep. Well, thank you, Laura, for being here today.
You're welcome.